There were so many references and Easter eggs in The Mandalorian Episode 1 that doing all of them would take probably about an hour or so. So here's just a handful to kind of whet your appetite. After seeing some of these, I'll definitely be on the lookout as we see upcoming episodes, as we will not only get more Easter eggs and references in the Star Wars universe, but also clues about the big twist at the end of Episode 1 where we had the baby Yoda species. And we've only seen two of those, both Yoda and Yaddle, and they were both on the Jedi Council, so likely it's going to be revealed to us that that species is entirely Force sensitive, and therefore pose a danger to people like the remnants of the Empire, and perhaps somebody like Supreme Leader Snoke, who of course rises to power after the Empire falls, when the First Order comes to power under his command. So here we go, a handful of Easter eggs and references from The Mandalorian Episode 1. And really quickly, let me say this video is brought to you by my wonderful Patreons. I really appreciate the support, you guys. You guys keep this channel going as we try to figure out this new YouTube algorithm. Number 1, the Hutts. In the first bar scene where the Mandalorian is looking for his bounty, we see the bearded dude harassing the guy that would end up being his bounty, and he was speaking in an interesting language. He was actually speaking in Huttese, the language of the Hutts, most notably, of course, Jabba the Hutt in Return of the Jedi. Number 2, the Spy. When the Mandalorian heads down to his ship after capturing the Mithril, we do see a character you may recognize. He wasn't named, but he's a Kabaz, the same species that called the Empire in A New Hope and informed them of the whereabouts of Luke, Obi-Wan, Han Solo, and the droids they were looking for.
Which way? All right, man, load your weapon.
Number 3, Knock Knock. As the Mandalorian enters the office of the former Imperial Moff to get his next assignment, we see a TT-8L Gatekeeper droid, and you may recognize that droid from before, as we saw the same model in Return of the Jedi when C-3PO knocks on the door of Jabba's palace.
Doesn't seem to be anyone here. Let's go back and tell Master Luke. Goodness gracious me.
And speaking of big characters and creatures like the Hutts, be sure to stay to the end where I'm going to explain what that Mandalorian logo actually means. On to number 4, Bad Motivator. As we see in this market scene, the Mandalorian passes an R5 unit that looks very much like the R5-D4 unit we saw in A New Hope when Luke acquires R2-D2 from the Jawas. Number 5, Dinner's Ready. We also see the market scene where the Mandalorian is going through heading towards his lair, so to speak, and we do see a scene where we see a Kowakian monkey lizard being roasted in front of his buddy. This is the same species as Salacious Crumb, Jabba the Hutt's smartass sidekick that served essentially as his court jester. So not only are they smart with a warped sense of humor, they're also delicious. Number 6, Life Day. When the Mandalorian catches the Mithril in the first few scenes, we do see him reference what he calls Life Day. Now, Life Day is the Star Wars equivalent to a holiday celebrated originally by the Wookiees on their home planet of Kashyyyk every 3 years. This was a callback to the Star Wars Holiday Special, where Chewbacca was actually on his way home to celebrate Life Day with his family.
Happy Life Day.
And now for the bonus. Let's talk about that Mandalorian symbol that everybody always wonders about. We do see the skull symbol as the Mandalorian enters his lair, and it should look familiar. We saw this symbol first on Boba Fett's armor, and although Boba Fett was not Mandalorian himself, this symbol itself is important to the Mandalorian warrior culture. We heard Nick Nolte's character Kuel bring this up to the Mandalorian when he couldn't ride the damn piranha T-Rex Blurg. Kuel states that the Mandalorians of old would conquer the mythosaurs, an old ancient beast of Mandalore, and that's what the famous symbol of the Mandalorians represent, them as a warrior culture. They apparently used to overcome this dinosaur-like creature and ride them, so that's what the infamous symbol that we all saw on Boba Fett's armor in Return of the Jedi actually means, really important to the Mandalorian culture. So anyway, there you go. There's just a handful of the Mandalorian references and Easter eggs I saw in Episode 1. Be sure to let me know in the comments below others that you saw. I know there was a lot more. As usual, thank you for all the support, especially you guys on Patreon. And a huge shout out to my executive Patreon SmokeScreen producers. And if you dig what I do here, please give these videos a like, comment, and a share. And of course, be sure to subscribe to get everything and click that notification bell twice so you're notified when I drop a new video. So thanks for watching, and we'll see you